Lately, I've had several of my subscribers ask me to dive into the world of neurodivergence. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. This video is all about unlocking the unique wiring of those who think and feel and create differently. Many of my clients that I have myself wrestle with the challenges that actually come with divergent thinking, but they've also discovered really powerful techniques, strategies to break through the noise, harness their creativity, and thrive. Here's the thing though, I can't possibly unpack every strategy in just this one video. So consider this your launching pad, okay? A solid first step into the world of neurodivergent creativity and connection. And because there's so much to explore, I'll likely turn this into a series, giving us the space to dive deeper, break down the nuances, and really get into the strategies that make a difference. So think of this then as the beginning of an ongoing conversation, one that's just getting started. You have ideas. Some come in an overwhelming flood, an uncontainable burst of inspiration that keeps you awake at night. Others feel just out of reach, teasing you from the edges of your mind. You want to create, don't you? But some days it just feels totally impossible. Maybe it's executive dysfunction holding you back, knowing what to do, but feeling unable to start. Maybe it's sensory overload, where even the hum of a light bulb feels like static in your brain. Or maybe it's rejection sensitivity, that deep fear that if you share your work, it's going to be torn apart, or even worse, ignored. If any of this sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone. For those with ADHD, ASD, or even AuDHD, creativity is both a gift and a challenge. But the struggle, it isn't a sign that you're not meant to create. It's a sign that you need a method that works with your brain, not against it. So let's explore how you can build a sustainable creative process that embraces your unique rhythm. So let's start by talking about the creative challenges of a neurodivergent mind, specifically in the area of executive dysfunction. Starting is often the hardest part. You know what you want to do, but getting there, it feels totally impossible. The longer you wait, the heavier the task becomes, and suddenly you're stuck. Not because you lack creativity, though, but because your brain struggles with the transition into action. So how can you make this work? Try externalizing ideas. Use whiteboards, use voice notes or sticky notes to get thoughts out of here and into reality. Or try reducing the first step. Instead of thinking, write a song, start with Open My Notes app. Or try using body doubling. Work alongside someone else, even virtually, to create momentum. And then there's sensory sensitivities. For some, creative work requires absolute silence. For others, it needs a steady background hum, whether it's music or movement or tactile engagement. Your environment can either amplify or it can block your creativity, depending on how it aligns with your sensory needs. So how can you make this work? Try this. Try adjusting your space. Experiment with lighting, noise levels, and seating as well to find what makes your brain feel safe. Try movement breaks. If sitting still is hard, pace while brainstorming, fidget while writing, or even doodle between tasks. Also, you can try engaging multiple senses. If working with texture, sound, or motion helps, lean into it. And then there's rejection sensitivity. This one is really tough. Putting your work into the world can feel like exposing your soul. One negative comment can overshadow 100 compliments. And sometimes the fear of failure keeps you from even starting. So how can you work with this? First, create for yourself. Let go of the pressure of being good and focus on what feels right. Next, you might want to try finding safe spaces. Join a neurodivergent friendly creative group where feedback is constructive and it's not crushing. That's the key. Second, try reframing criticism. This is so key. Instead of thinking, I'm bad at this, tell yourself over and over again, this is part of growth. Now let's talk about harnessing your strength as a neurodivergent creator. While challenges obviously exist, it's important to understand that your brain is also wired for powerful creativity. You just need to structure your process in a way that aligns with how you think. These strategies may help. Number one, work in creative sprints. Traditional schedules don't always work. If inspiration strikes at midnight, lean into it, but set boundaries so you don't burn out. Try 25-minute sprints with 5-minute breaks. Number two, try rotating between projects. Hyperfocus can be a superpower, but when it fades, motivation crashes. Keep multiple projects in rotation so you always have something to jump into. Try this. Try cycling between things like writing, photography, drawing, whatever you're doing to keep creativity fresh. Number three, use tools that support your brain. Technology can bridge the gap between inspiration and execution. So try this. Digital organization apps like Notion or Trello or speech to text for capturing ideas when writing just feels really slow. AI-generated prompts can really help too to kickstart creativity when you feel stuck. You don't need to create like everyone else. You don't need to force yourself into rigid structures that don't fit because your process is valid. Your creativity is valid. So here's my challenge to you. Take one small step today. Not because you have to, though. Not because you should, but because your creativity deserves to exist. Now go, create, adapt, and honor your rhythm.